Before a team can win anything, they have to win at the NFL Draft.
There's no way anybody's going to take him serious. There's no way any players are going to take him serious.
The chance of drafting new talent has made teams make ridiculous trades and invest a lot in scouting.
This is one of the best four-year runs draft-wise, I think, in a long time in the NFL.
But there are other things teams are doing to ensure a winning record before the season even starts. Things that they aren't too proud of. Here's a look at the dark side of the NFL Draft and secrets teams would never openly share. The 1936 NFL Draft was the first sports draft in North American history, and since then, league drafts have become a staple of sports culture and American heritage. Not only are they the gateway for college players and amateurs to become professionals, but they also help keep the talent pool in the league evenly distributed. This is because teams who perform the worst during the regular season and playoffs get higher draft picks the following year. Top picks bring fresh talent into the league, meaning players who can rewrite a franchise's history. In the 21st century, there have been 5 Super Bowls won by a team that featured a number 1 draft pick. And whenever teams land a quarterback in the first round, they get the chance to build the team around said player and bolster their chances of a Super Bowl. NFL drafts are like a lottery ticket to a Super Bowl if you get it right, but a nightmare when you draft poorly. There have been players picked early in a draft that never lived up to their potential, and players that were picked super low because no one expected much from them. In essence, some Super Bowls are won long before the season starts, during draft day. Coaches and managers know this, so they invest millions in scouting to ensure they get the most out of their picks. That's why some teams resort to trading rather high-profile players or multiple picks for higher future draft picks. They've been a common practice for decades now, and most recently, Kansas Chiefs have shown why this is a good strategy. They traded their 27th pick, a first-round selection, and a third-round pick in the 2018 draft to the Buffalo Bills for a higher pick in the 2017 draft. And who did the Chiefs pick in that draft?
10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second.
They got Patrick Mahomes, and the rest is history. But trades aren't the only way teams can get higher picks. Remember that picks help even out the talent pool in the league, so winning a Super Bowl or going far in the playoffs means teams can kiss high draft picks bye-bye. That's why some teams play terribly intentionally, and this is no secret. In fact, tanking is a common thing in American sports culture, not just in the NFL. The Colts did it back in 2011 to ensure they would secure a pick for Andrew Luck. In 2014, the Buccaneers sat down their starters in the second half to surrender a 3-touchdown lead and secure the number 1 pick for Jameis Winston. But tanking and trades aren't the only tricks NFL teams have up their sleeves. Draft picks aren't necessarily in order of the best players coming out of college. The type of player a team needs is a big factor. If you look at Lamar Jackson as an example, he was a 2-time ACC Player of the Year and a Heisman Trophy winner with plenty of honors. But he was drafted 32nd overall, and all 4 quarterbacks who were picked ahead of him all fell within the first 10 draft picks. Why? Well, he just wasn't the type of quarterback those teams needed or wanted. His low passing accuracy percentage meant he wasn't the best quarterback for the type of plays most offensive coordinators use. And that's the basis for the first secret about NFL teams and their draft selections. They would sometimes rather pick a player they don't need just so that another team can't have them. In the 2008 NFL Draft, the New York Jets had the 6th pick of the draft. They used it to get defensive end Vermin Golston. But the problem the previous season was on offense, and the word started going around that they only drafted him so that the Patriots wouldn't get him. In the same draft period, Jared Mayo was selected 10th overall by the Patriots, and if Golston was still available, they would have picked him instead. While Mayo went on to win a Super Bowl and become a Patriots legend, Vernon Golston had a contrasting career. He only really played for 2 seasons and only featured for the practice squad of the Bears and the Rams. And this begs the question, why would they pick someone so high up and not use him? Unless they only wanted to disrupt another team's draft plans. But this is not the only instance where an NFL team's draft makes you question their intentions. In 2019, the Dallas Cowboys' top 2 wide receivers, Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, both racked up 1,100 receiving yards. But their poor defense meant they couldn't go far despite their strong offense. Their 8-8 record and no playoff spots showed that their defense needed reinforcements. But with the 17th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, they made a shocking choice.
Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb, Wide receiver, Oklahoma.
When clearly they should have opted for a defensive option. Because of this, not only did they miss the playoffs again, but the regular season record was again terrible. Perhaps the thought of Lamb getting drafted by another NFC East team made them draft a player they really didn't need. Because most teams feel wasting a player's talent does less damage to them, having the player flourish on a rival team. But when teams don't have top draft picks to stop prodigies going to rival teams, there's something else they do. They sabotage a player's chance of being a top prospect because if they can't have them, they feel better knowing a team that doesn't need them gets the player. Back in 2016, not many players were more excited than Ole Miss offensive tackle Laremy Tunsil. All teams wanted him, and he looked poised to be drafted within the first few picks. But things quickly took a sharp turn. Minutes before the draft would start, Tunsil's Twitter account was hacked and a video of him smoking was posted. And this definitely did some damage. The lineman was projected as high as number 3 by the Chargers. They passed on him. The Ravens wanted an offensive tackle. They reportedly took Tunsil off their board due to the bong video, then selected Notre Dame offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley. Tunsil went to the Dolphins number 13 overall. A player considered by some the best in the draft ended up as the 3rd pick at his position. If the Ravens had taken him, Tunsil would have made another $8 million over the next 4 years. Whatever hacker did this to Tunsil was never found. Whatever orchestrated it got what they wanted. Tunsil was drafted outside the top 10 picks, and there's no telling what trajectory his career would have been on if not for the league. And Laremy Tunsil isn't the only victim of such sabotage. When Dalvin Cook was set to feature in the 2017 NFL Draft, he had legal problems that threatened to derail his career.
2 members of the team are now charged with assaulting women. The latest, the star running back.
And as if that wasn't enough, rumors were circulating in the media that he was an alcoholic and lacked the discipline necessary to play in the NFL. But although the controversy he was facing was mostly his own doing, unlike Laremy, he got drafted in the 2nd round, and the running back's time in the NFL has been far from ideal. Players having their prospects sabotaged is no new thing, and college coach Deion Sanders has been vocal about how damaging this behavior by NFL's teams is. During appearance on the Front Office Sports Today podcast, he had this to say, quote, "You have guys that are slated to go at this certain number pick. Randomly, something comes out that they flunked their drug test, or they have this type of injury. How does that happen? How does that mysteriously come out right before the draft?" He's also pushing for the players to be more protected over foul instances like this. But if he really wants to see the change he desires, he's going to have to do a lot more than just talk about it on podcasts. These are the secret ways NFL teams influence and manipulate drafts, and they can't let the public know, so they pull the strings from the shadows to avoid backlash. But this just shows the extent to which teams will go in order to win. Which secret shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Football Freak Show for more.